Hey everybody, it's your old pal Chuck. And yes, we are finally taking a look at some of the Wave 1 Siege figures from the deluxe class. And we do have one of the most anticipated figures from the line. This is Skytread, aka Flywheels, otherwise known as the Other Duocon. Now in Power of the Prime, we got Battle Trap, and if you remember, both of them, they were sold as Scout class figures, or what, they don't use Scout anymore. It's like a Legion now or something. You know what? I'm confused. Scout. They were Scout class figures that actually had a robot mode and a vehicle mode and the ability to combine. Well, with Skytread here, it only has the ability to go from vehicle mode to part of a robot. And unfortunately, I'll just tell you right now, it doesn't. It really points out the differences with Battle Trap, and it really doesn't seem to fit together with Battle Trap. Battle Trap, in reflection, has a lot more greebles and hinges on it that Skytread or Flywheels does not. Like all the other robots in the Siege line, it does feature the combat battle system where you have the turret of the tank and this little handgun, which is a nice replica of the original weapon that Flywheels came with. And you can just plug the handgun into the back and you get this much larger weapon. I don't like this larger weapon because, and here's why. The issue is this is a great handgun. The turret is all right as a handheld weapon. But once you combine it, really the center of balance and the handle should be up a little higher to have a bit more of a back grip there. And having the robot hold it like this, it just looks off. And unfortunately, with the arms on Skytread and the other deluxes, it's really difficult to grab it from this peg, which would look a little bit better. But, you know, it is what it is. So we'll just, put this off to the side, and we'll get into the transformation. Now, as I mentioned in my review of Sideswipe, I am trying something new where I will explain the step and then do it. Instead of doing it at the same time, it might be a little bit easier. So we'll start with the tank component. Now, I do want to mention some people have complained that they have had an issue with the hinges here folding up and being able to close the panels up for tank mode. Now, I don't know what the right way would be. I think this looks fine to me. Everything pegs in. I should also mention that there is a bit of an issue with the turret here pegging in, where it will peg in, but it's a very loose connection. It doesn't go down all the way because it's basically blocked by that connection piece. So the first step we're going to do is open up these panels here and then unfold what will be the hips and pelvis from their folded position. So let's do this like that, and then just fold it all out like so. The next step is going to be, we're going to flip the legs up on what would be their ankles and then separate them. So we'll just do this, just like that. And just go like that. As all we've seen thus far, all the deluxes do have some form of ankle pivot, and you do see all the ports there to add weapons in and what have you. The final step for the tank component is going to be closing up these panels. So they just close them up and around. They will peg together. And there you have the legs done. I do want to point out that this is the front. At least one reviewer has had his panel separate in packaging. This really isn't meant to come off, so if you see an opening, check your packaging to make sure this didn't pop off. A little dab of super glue should be able to fix things up right nice and neat. So I'm going to put those off to the side, and we'll come to the jet component. And I really like this jet component. It will form the torso of Skytread. You do have some nice little detailing here underneath, you can see there's these little laser guns that are on the back of the fist. You have some lasers here on the wing. To do the transformation, first thing you want to do is you'll come underneath. The arms are pegged in to this back section, so we're going to detach them, flip them up, separate them because they are pegged together, and then fold them out to the side. There is a hinge piece there that we're connected to the shoulder. So we'll just do this. It does peg in quite nicely, which I do like. So that'll basically, when you unpeg it, it'll separate the arms. So just, and then we just rotate it out. Rotate it out. The next step will be rotating the arms around at the bicep joint so that the opening here for the fist faces inward. Just like that. That will, of course, also expose the elbow joint. The next step is you're going to want to grab this piece right down here, flip it up, and then fold in the side panels, detach them from the wings, and they'll clip into place. So we'll do that. And then just flip these around, just like so. I think the instructions actually have you fold these panels out first, and that really doesn't make sense because you have to move them out of the way to flip that piece up. Next, what we're going to do is fold the wings back and then fold down the cockpit. It'll form the upper torso section and then come down. The nose will peg into that slot right there. Hold the wings back. And there are tabs on that upper section that will slot into the sections here above the shoulders, and then everything will just come down. And then finally, just flip out the fists, just like so. So here you have Skytread. Unfortunately, you cannot use the headmaster. The head's not removable, but there you go. And then the final step is hold down here into the peg there, combining the robot together, snaps nicely into place, and there you have Skytread. Really nice, really cool looking figure. I did not have this guy as a child. I had Battle Trap. I don't know why I didn't get Skytread. I mean, I really like the look of the tank and the jet, but what have you. To armor it up, I like to give it its pistol here. You know, and then with this, you can put it in the other hand. I like to store it on the back. So that's what I like about all these little pegs and ports. You do have some weapon storage. So yeah, that's Skytread. So we'll pause, and I'll give you my final thoughts. Skytread is a great figure. Issues with the hips aside, in terms of getting them back into vehicle mode, I think it's great. You know, I guess I'm lucky. I just didn't have problems with mine, but articulation is there. You just really have some fun. Again, like all the other deluxe figures, there are plenty of connection points for the weapon system and stuff, so you can really trick them out, you know. As we'll go along, when we get to Cog, who's a weaponizer, you'll see just how many options you really have, and I think it's fantastic. I've actually said on Instagram that if Siege is not the best-selling Transformers line in a while, then I'm going to be surprised. I won't be shocked, because I think the movie lines have the more mainstream popularity, but I'll be surprised because they finally have a cross-play pattern that actually works and is fun. I mean, it's taken me a while to review these figures just because I've had so much fun mixing and matching parts and doing stuff with the Battle Masters and, you know, the Micro Masters and stuff. You know, more so with the Battle Masters and the Micro Masters, because I think the weapon modes are a little weak. But definitely, if you're going to pick up a Decepticon from the Wave 1 Deluxe line, get Skytread. It's no coincidence that it's the only Decepticon in the Wave 1 line that I'm recommending him. Yes, it is. But, so that's about it for Skytread. or flywheels, however you want to call them. It's your old pal Chuck, and we will see you next time.